Tuned to the Weather Classroom. Mike Bono and Dennis Smith with you today. And today's topic is a topic that a lot of school kids are very interested in. At least when I go out to schools, most of the kids want to know about tornadoes. And we'll go into them in depth. We'll talk about their formation. We have some video to show you on that as well. And Dennis Smith comes back and he'll talk about severe weather awareness. And we have a lot of places around the country that have Severe Weather Awareness Week and tornado drills. I'm sure you've seen that in school, so that's either has come up already or will be coming up during the spring where you live. Tornadic thunderstorms, this is it, the granddaddy of thunderstorms, the big guys, the ones that go up to 50, 60,000 feet, but they don't have to be that high to generate a tornado. First, you have that rain running out ahead of it, usually. Now, on the leading flank, in fact, a little bit on the northern side of a storm, you'll have a real heavy shaft of hail sometimes. Large hail usually means large thunderstorms and often is connected with tornadoes. But right where the tornado is, you won't have precipitation usually. That'll be in the rear flank on the right side as that storm is moving across the countryside. A wall or collar cloud, an ominous looking thing, and a funnel that if it touches the ground could cause great damage. Charlie Welsh has more on the formation of tornadoes.
In any given year, the U.S. reports more tornadoes than any other country worldwide. On average, over 800 a year. Why do so many tornadoes form in the United States? Tornadoes normally occur when warm, moist Gulf air meets cool Canadian air. The warm air rises, clouds form, storms develop. Wind shear, winds at different altitudes blowing in different directions, causes the air between the layers to begin spinning, almost like a horizontal tornado, although not nearly as fast. When this horizontally rotating air meets an updraft, the rotating tube can become stretched and tilted. As the now nearly vertical tube tightens its spin, it speeds up. And the result? A tornado that has the potential of causing loss of life and extensive property damage. Charlie Welsh, The Weather Channel.
Because we're making the transition from winter months to spring months, we see the tornado season peak at certain areas of the country at certain times of the year. Now, early in the spring season, March and April, it affects the Gulf Coast states, April and May through the plains, even spring and summer as you move on up into the Northeast. As you move farther to the north, the season is later and later. In fact, June and July for much of the northern tier of states. To find out more about where they're positioned is all-important Tornado Alley. Here's Dave Schwartz.
Tornadoes are a deadly and destructive weather phenomenon. They occur in many regions around the world, but in total number of storms, the U.S. leads the way. 1,127 were reported in 1991. The largest percentage occurs in infamous Tornado Alley, a region of the Central Plains. The storms concentrate in this area because of a unique combination of weather conditions and topography. Typically in spring, a low-pressure system forms in the Central Plains. A warm, moist air current flows from the Gulf of Mexico to and around the low-pressure center. Then a strong westerly flow in the upper atmosphere brings drier air from the Rocky Mountains. These elements create an environment which can lead to an outbreak of destructive weather. This is Andover, Kansas. Portions of the town were flattened by a twister on the 26th of April, 1991. 13 people were killed. Just another reminder of the deadly force of tornadoes, especially in the area known as Tornado Alley. Dave Schwartz, The Weather Channel.
There is a scale of intensity in tornadoes, and that was created by Professor Fujita of the University of Chicago. And he actually got interested in tornadoes growing up and living in Japan when he saw a lot of intense damage from typhoons. Now, this is a little different from a typhoon. A tornado is a severe local storm coming out of a thunderstorm. Starting down at the bottom, F0 on the scale, 40 to 72 mile-an-hour winds with some minor roof, tree, and sign damage. A pretty gusty wind, but not much worse than that. Now, when you get up to F1, we're talking about roof damage. That's 73 to 112 miles an hour. That's like a pretty good hurricane, only it lasts a lot less time. Cars are thrown from roads. Some mobile homes are torn apart. The next on the scale, F2, 113 to 157 miles an hour. Strongly built buildings become unroofed and mobile homes can disintegrate. And F3 goes up over 200 miles an hour at the max. Strongly built buildings, outside walls blown away. That's the strongly built buildings. Weaker homes completely swept away. and the F4 scale goes up over 200 miles an hour. The walls are blown apart, and even strongly built homes and cars can be thrown 300 yards or more, and strongly built homes completely blown away in F6 tornadoes. This is a picture of a tornado that went through Wichita April 26, 1991, and we have more on that tornado.
This is home video of a tornado that ripped through McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas. The tornado tore a path of destruction 46 miles wide through Sedgwick and Butler counties. In Andover, a mobile home park was leveled. Residents were warned about the storm, but some stayed in their homes instead of heading to the shelter. By storm's end, 13 people were dead. Many more were injured.
When I came out of the basement, I was facing east, which was the major part of the disaster. And my first thought was, my God, they're all dead. I could not believe that anyone could live through what I was seeing.
Homes, businesses, and lives were destroyed. Dennis Smith was part of a Weather Channel crew covering the storm.
I was amazed that more people weren't killed. I mean, the entire scene from Andover was just totally leveled. I mean, even cars would topple around like they were toy cars, and trailers were completely flattened. Trees, all the leaves were stripped off the trees, and then the trees were down.
The tornado outbreak left 17 people dead and 225 injured. Damage was $162 million. Tom Chisholm, the Weather Channel.
As you move out of the winter months and start heading towards the warmer climate temperatures in spring and summer, then we start to find the concentration of severe weather as the atmosphere is trying to make adjustments, and sometimes it's a violent reaction. Early spring across the Gulf Coast states is when severe weather is a favored time of the year to experience severe weather. And as you move later on into the spring, I'd be describing May and June, you'd find out the severe weather breaking out in the plains and advancing on up into the northeast quadrant of the country. Now, as far as tornadoes and when they most likely occur, it shows up primarily in those months that it's making that adjustment. So we tip it in towards the spring months. April, May, and June are the peak. As you can see, in May, on average, pick up 179 tornadoes. Less of a chance of finding that in January or something like December. Now, over the 1990s, we've already seen some pretty violent weather, and in fact, a lot of tornadoes have been reported. In 1991, 1,132 tornadoes, a record year in 1992, where we had 1,297 tornadoes reported, and even in 1993, 1,153 tornadoes. You compare that to an average of 839, there's been quite a bit of tornadic activity thus far in 1990s. To find out more about how you should prepare and safety rules for tornadoes, here's Jeff Morrow.
More tornadoes occur in the United States than anywhere else in the world. Over 80% of all severe thunderstorms and tornadoes occur between noon and midnight. To survive tornadoes, it is important to react to a tornado watch or warning.
A watch means the potential is there, the ingredients are coming together, that later on during the day there could be a tornado. Now, tornado warning means all these ingredients have come together. Warning means you need to take necessary precautions immediately.
When a tornado warning is issued for your community, stay away from windows, go to the lowest floor of a building, into a bathroom or closet. Protect yourself under something sturdy. Leave your mobile home or car. If you are outside, lie flat in a ditch. Beware of possible flooding. Thunderstorms and tornadoes can happen so rapidly that you may not get a warning. So if there is a watch in your area, be aware of developing weather conditions. I'm Jeff Morrow, the Weather Channel.
Our subject again today was on tornadoes. Want to find out more? Refer to Chapter 11 in your Weather Channel classroom book. And a reminder, in the week of March 7th to the 11th, the Weather Channel will be giving you a documentary series on violent skies, shown at 7:30, 9, and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, find out more about severe thunderstorms and tornadoes.